Good morning. How is everybody this fine morning in Boca Raton and everywhere else that you may be tuning in from? We always got a few like Jersey's, New York's online, sometimes the Costa Rica and Italy. So hi everybody who is tuning in from around this beautiful planet. Let's get on our feet. Thank you. It's my clipboards right there. Thank you, Jerome. Good morning. No Jonathan today. Well, who did the tables? Everybody? Can you guys hear me in the back? Yeah? Okay, good. All right. Got people all around, spread all around the park. We're going to step right up to the top of the mat this morning. Got some brave souls in the sun. Hopefully it'll move, right? All right, so when you step up to the top of the mat, let's step into Tadasana. Tadasana is the mountain pose. Feet together, unless of course that creates some kind of pinching in your hips or lower back. If that doesn't feel good to put your feet together, or you are challenged by your balance sometimes, then you could put a little space between your feet. But the pose is intended to be the big toes touching. And of course, for any other reason, you know, if it was just mindlessness, like we just didn't even realize we weren't standing that way, right? But if we purposefully are separating the feet, then of course, then that is the correct way for you. And then lift and spread your toes. Like just lift them all up, spread them apart, and then put them all back down. See if we can get contact of all 10 toes onto the mat. And by pressing into the toes, did you feel your weight shift a little forward? Did everybody go a little forward? Yeah, so keep the pressure under the toes, but then put yourself back up over your heels. Yeah, welcome to your body. That's it. Now, inhale, lift your arms. Start to feel the chest broaden and the collarbones lift. Fill all the way up. And then exhale, bring the arms back down. So even though we're moving our arms and focusing on the movement of the breath, inhale, arms reach. I want you to keep feeling your footprints on the ground. This is how we awaken our consciousness. We broaden our attention. Inhale, reaching, timing the movement with the breath, and staying grounded in our feet. So simple, but so complex. Inhale again, arms reach. And then exhale, bring it down. Let's hold here for just a moment. So could you imagine if that was a little challenging for your brain, when we start separating our legs and binding our hands and doing different things with left side and right side of the body, how much you have to pay attention. That is your work, to stay in it. I know there's a lot going on around us, right? There's cars driving by, sometimes an ambulance. You got all these people in different colors. We're facing in at each other. So I'm going to ask you today to minimize your distraction, to keep your gaze close to you. Try to stay with your attention within the space of your own mat, right? So we can feel the energy and the support of each other around us, like we feel the energy of the crowd, but we really stay in our own work. And we do that by feeling our feet on the ground and timing our breath with our movements, and really focusing on how we position our bodies. And even if you don't do exactly what I'm saying, because you need to modify, you do that with integrity and intention. Does that make sense? Yeah, you guys with me on that? All right, let's keep our feet on the ground, but take another breath and reach the arms up high, high up to the sky. This time, exhale, fold over. Notice what you feel. Drop the head low. Good. Then lift halfway, fingers on the shins. Draw the chest up and out, flatten the back. And then exhale, fold. With an inhale, rise all the way to standing. Lift your head and chest. Try not to drag the head. And then exhale, arms by your sides. We're going to do that again. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Then lift halfway, lengthen the spine, feel that flat back. Then exhale, fold again. And then with a flat back, we rise. Lift the head and chest. Try not to drag the head down. That head is heavy. You want to lift it up first. And then exhale, release your arms. One more time. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge at the hips. Keep the spine long. This is a flat back moment. Inhale, lengthen, look forward. Fold again, exhale. Now, lift halfway. Inhale, head is up. Right from there. Start lifting the head and the chest, and then sweep the arms and come all the way up to standing. That's the way we do it. And then arms by your sides. Okay, inhale, arms reach. We're going to move on. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway. Inhale. Now soften your knees so you can touch the mat. I want both hands down, and then step the right foot back. A big step to the back of the mat. Keep it to the right side of the back of the mat. And then root your right hand down and twist open to your left side. So far, nothing contortionist or crazy, right? But you got to feel your feet on the ground. You got to feel that the right side and the left side might not be doing the exact same thing. And we minimize our gaze by keeping it close to us. So look at your own thumb. Try not to look at the person in front of you or anyone around you, but look up at the thumb tip right there, your thumbnail. The one that's up in the air. Look at that one. Turn your head and look up. Yeah, we got two thumbs. Look at the one in the air. That's it. Now, push into your feet, push into your right hand, and see if you can get your left chest to open just a little more. Take one more breath. As you exhale, plant your hand back on the floor. Good. Step into plank. We're going to hold plank pose for a moment so that you can organize your body. Hands are going to kind of push down. The feet, the toes kind of feel like they're trying to stretch the mat apart, so your legs are engaged, your kneecaps are lifted, and your tailbone draws down a little. Good. Take a nice deep breath here. See if you can hold that form. Maybe even put the knees down if you wish. And then we're going to lower slowly with the core engaged so the spine is supported the whole time, and we go all the way to the belly. Beautifully done. Inhale, cobra pose. Hips stay on the ground. Tops of the feet are on the ground. You can use your hands here. Your thumbs should be by the nipple line. So your hands move back, your elbows are lifted, and the elbows squeeze. The shoulder blades pull back. Lift the crown of your head. See if you can broaden the collarbones even more. There's a lot of work going on in the upper back. If you feel like you have pinching going on in the lower back, you probably came up too high. Now, I'm going to see if I can keep you honest here. Can you keep your hips on the ground, your feet on the ground, keep your chest lifted and wide, but now lift your hands? Yeah, so if you kind of drop down about 6 inches, you probably were too high, right? Now, this is the test of the true form. If you put your hands back down, can you just simply enhance the work and not over-muscle it, not overpower it? That's it. Take a deep breath there. Enjoy the feeling. And then exhale, release it. Tuck your toes and go to downward facing dog. Let's paddle our feet a little bit. Bend one knee and then the other. Allow some movement through the toes, ankles, knees, and the hips. So the hips don't stay square. When the knee bends, the hip drops. And vice versa on the other side. That's it. We want little movement in the hips. Let's take a deep breath and push both legs back. Let's go straight again with both legs. And then look at your hands. Start walking the feet right up to the top of the mat. Lift halfway on the inhale to the flat back. And then exhale, fold. And then with that flat back, lift your head and chest. Let's come all the way up to standing. And then hands to heart center. Good, we'll keep going. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway on the in-breath. Soften your knees so you can touch the mat, and this time the left leg steps back. Make sure you step it to the left side of the back of the mat. Root your left hand down, and we'll play with that twist. Amazing. First rotation of the morning. Should be curious. It's not going to be the best twist you did the whole day, but it won't be the worst. But it should be the one you pay the most attention to. Now, ground both feet. Root into the left hand. See if you can access the obliques and turn the rib cage a little bit. Make sure that gaze is up at your own thumb so we're not distracted. And then lengthen your spine a little more. Chest out, head back. One more breath. See if we can get that right chest to open just a little more. Beautifully done. And then eyes go down, hands go down. Let's step to plank and hold. Organize yourself. Choose knees down or not, and then lower to the belly. Do it with the core engaged so your spine is supported. Inhale for cobra. We learned it in the last round, so do it with integrity. And then exhale, release, and go to downward facing dog. All right, so our movements are going to start to take on a little bit of rhythm. All right, we got some beats this morning. DJ Taz Rashid, our artist this morning. Let's go ahead and push back and then look forward. Let's walk our feet to the top of the mat. Feet together, inhale, lift, and then exhale, fold. All right, bend your knees, reach your arms, chair pose. It didn't take me long this morning to get here. Now, do you remember when you did that lift and spread of the toes? And when you did that, you pressed into the toes, it made you sit forward? Yeah, well, you can keep your toes grounded, but also sit back in your heels. Pay attention to how you're using your feet. Take one more breath, and then push through the whole footprint and come on up, all the way up. Maybe even take a little stretch at the top, and then hands to heart center. Okay, inhale, arms reach. Let's flow. Exhale, forward fold. All in the rhythm of the breath. Lift halfway on your inhale. As you exhale, go to plank and lower. Same exhalation all the way to the belly. And then inhale to cobra, one breath. Exhale as you go to downward facing dog. So we're moving and breathing. Feeling our handprints and our footprints. Right now the gaze goes to the navel. So you're kind of looking up toward your belly, which makes you lift your hips a little higher. Makes you pull the belly in for a little support. Can you feel the peak of the pose rising because you're paying attention? Pull everything up and in around the pelvic floor and the hips. Let's take one more breath. And then as you exhale, look forward, walk your feet to the top of the mat. Feet come together. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, fold. Good. With a flat back, rise all the way up. There's that ambulance I was speaking about. A little prayer for who's inside. Hold for just a moment. A gratitude for the driver and the workers in the back and whoever they're transporting or they're about to go get. I don't think they're heading toward the hospital. They're heading away. All right, stand up tall. Ground your feet. Use your toes. Stand in your heels. And then bend your knees and sweep your arms. Show me your chair pose again. Beautifully done. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your in-breath. Let's go to plank and lower on the same exhale. No pause here. We just go right down. Inhaling through the back bend of your choice. And then exhale, downward facing dog. All right. Our first lunge. Right foot is going to step up to the top of the mat. Stay on your left toes. It's called high crescent lunge. You got to ground your feet before you come up so you make sure you have your balance. That's it. Chest plate is forward. Now, both feet are doing different things. You got one flat on the ground. Use all of your toes. We want to lift the back heel and really ground all 5 toes on the left foot. And once you get that back leg feeling sturdy, you can get curious and bend into the right one a little deeper. The body needs time. The psoas, this muscle on the front of your left hip, is probably a little stubborn. See if you can draw your tailbone down and the hip bones up. So we reposition the pelvis just a little bit and lengthen that psoas on the left side. That's it. Now, if you can figure out how to do this, I want you to pull up from the lower belly, start to lift the rib cage, and reach a little higher. Reach all the way up to your fingertips, and then tip your ears back and look at your fingers. Yes, take one more breath. Oop, most of you just wobbled, right? Set your gaze at your thumbs. Take one more breath. And then exhale, plant those hands on the earth. Step back lightly, lower, slowly. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale right back into downward facing dog, and we'll do it on the other side. Left foot step, stay on the right toes. Use all of your toes, use your feet. Set your foundation. The stance can be a little wide and plenty long. Give yourself some space. And then let's really set up the back foot. The 5 toes on the right foot are really grounded, and the heel is lifted behind you. Like, I'm not joking when I'm saying that we use that right foot well. And then try to straighten the right knee a little bit. And once that feels pretty stable, then you can get curious about the left knee. Try bending a little bit. The front one bends. Now we're going to try to get a little taller. Start taking it up from the lower belly. Start lifting through the side waist. Start reaching the arms. Lift the rib cage. Take your gaze to your thumbs. Set your gaze steady. Isn't that amazing how things wobble as soon as we change our eye gaze? Set the gaze. You'll restore your balance. And then take one more breath. Eyes to the floor, hands to the floor. Step back lightly and lower. Good. Inhale, cobra pose. Just work the back and make it toned and strong. And then exhale, release into downward facing dog. All right. Warrior 1. Right foot steps up, left foot turns flat. Same idea. The back foot gets grounded and we rise up facing forward. Again, these are complex poses, but they're not contortionist, they're not crazy. If we build them from the feet up, we can actually start to feel how we create these little articulations in the body. And if we stay a little longer, we see how the body kind of surrenders and gives in. Right now, there might be some resistance. You might feel some sensations. But as we breathe and as we ground, the body starts to get on board. So work with both feet. As you ground your feet, especially the left one, can you turn the left leg in a little bit? Yep, that's it. And then get curious about the front one. Can you go in a little bit deeper? Now, lean back so we're not heavy on the front leg. Lift from the pelvic floor. Lift through the sideways. See if you can take that gaze slightly up. You can look with your eyeballs and not so much with your head. Straight arms reaching. Let's take one more breath here and then take our flow. So you see how it goes. We build everything from the bottom up. It's going to go like that through the whole practice. Push through your hands, take it to down dog. Keep the peak of the pose high, tailbone high, legs pressing back. And then let's do the other side. Left foot steps, right foot flat. It's a big step forward, grounding the back foot. So the right foot is where we begin. Ground that foot. And once you get all of your toes and your heel grounded on that back leg, can you turn the leg in a little bit? It'll help you get the hips a little more forward. And the idea is that we really don't want any pinching in the hips or in the lower back here. So there's a slight drawing down of the tailbone. There's a leveling of the hip points. And once that foundation feels good, maybe we get curious about the left leg. Everyone looks so good here. Your yoga is beautiful this morning. Chest plate forward. Lift from the pelvic floor. Take the gaze toward your thumbs. So there's this energetic lift that's happening. There's a little bit of passion in the warrior. Take one more breath. Straight arms, reach. And then exhale, hands to the ground. Step back lightly, lower slowly. We never get sloppy when we go back to the familiar. We get more diligent because we know our way through. And then we go back to downward facing dog. All right, so the Surya Namaskar B puts all of those things together. And we're going to try to do that in one big, beautiful flow. Take one more breath where you are. Push back a little. And then look forward. Let's walk our feet to the top of the mat. They come together at the top. Then inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, chair pose. Push through the footprints, come on up. And release your arms by your sides. All right, here we go. Chair pose, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Lifting on the inhale, halfway. Then go to plank and lower. One exhale, all the way down. Inhaling through cobra. Exhale as you push back to down dog and step the right foot forward. The back foot is flat. We're going to rise for one big, long, deep breath in. Build the pose from the ground up. And then exhale, come right back down. Hands down, step back and lower. Good. Take a deep breath in cobra. Your muscles need that oxygen. And then push back. Left foot steps, right foot flat. Warrior one, we rise for one big, long, deep breath. As soon as you're ready to exhale, the hands come back down. This is a breath exercise. It might seem like it's calisthenics in the body, but it is a breath exercise. Take your cobra and then exhale back to down dog. So if we can make each breath long and slow and deep, and we can make them efficient, we can do a lot of workload in the body and not overwork the cardiovascular system or the nervous system. Smooth out the breath. We're going to take one more and push back a little. And then as you exhale, just walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. And then finish strong. Here's your chair pose. And I know doing the same repetitive things over and over is sometimes really great for learning, but not so much fun in terms of creativity or attention, right? Let's come to standing. Bring the hands to heart center. All right. Inhale, lift your right knee to your belly. We'll change modes. Now we got to push the left foot down and lift the right one up. So create a little push-pull here. And then lift the sole of the right foot so your toes are really pulling up toward your knee. I want you to feel your toes spreading, and I want you to stretch the skin on the sole of that right foot. And then keep it like that. Keep it really active and take it into balance. Take your leg behind you. Keep stretching the skin on the sole of that right foot. Keep spreading your toes. That's it. Pushing back through the heel. And then slowly come to standing. Pull the knee to the belly. And then put the foot back down. Mixed reviews on that. Let's do the other side. So what we've been doing up to this point, we've had 2 feet on the ground. You felt really balanced and really stable. Now we've got one in the air, so we've got to use it. When the left leg is up in the air, if this leg is kind of doing this kind of stuff and the foot's kind of wobbling there, there's no integration, right? We need to really make this leg feel like it still has a purpose. In this pose, the back leg feels just like the back leg of the warrior or of the high crescent lunge. It's just as active, right? So let's try it again. Left knee to the belly. From the hip to the heel, stay integrated, right? Keep that leg really part of your work. Start sending it back behind you. It's not soft and floating back there. It's part of your body. It's part of all that you're doing. That's it. And then pull it back in. Knee to belly. And then place it down on the ground. All right, we'll circle back to that. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your in-breath. Let's go to plank pose and lower. Move back through the vinyasa. Try to get in rhythm with your breathing. Inhaling through the back bend. And then exhale, take it back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Okay, right foot steps up. Stay on your left toes. Let's see if we can make the impression of the high crescent lunge here, where we feel the work in our feet, we feel the work in our legs, we actually pull up and in the core, right? There's length in the torso and there's activation to the fingertips. Now, pull the hands into heart center and then come forward into that same pose, lifting that left leg behind you. Better. Okay, come to standing, left knee to belly. Just moving through the balance. Look down the line of your nose so you look to the ground in front of you, not too much farther. Lift your chest and your head a little taller. Okay, keep the gaze down. Take the leg back behind you. Soften your right knee, step back onto your left toes. Arms reach up high to the sky. Beautifully done. Bring your hands to heart center, and then hook your left elbow outside your right knee. Spinal twist. Remember how important the work is in the back foot. If it feels like you're sagging a little bit in your hips, pull up. You're welcome. Squeeze the outer hips a little. Pull in the belly. Make the spine feel long and supported. And then push your elbow against your knee and your knee against your elbow and see if you can get that right chest to open just a little more. Okay, keep pressing the palms. Return to center. Slowly rise back up. Inhale, reach both arms. And then exhale, take your flow. You did it. Hands down, step back, and lower. Beautifully done. Moving with grace. Staying grounded. So poses are becoming a little more complex, but we're going to just stay with the basics. Find your way to downward facing dog. And then left foot steps up. Stay on the right toes. High crescent lunge. I like what I see. Now, can we feel the feet first? Feel the ground beneath you. Notice how you are in relationship with that steadiness of the ground beneath you. Hands are going to come to heart center. Stay active in the right leg. Push into your left foot. And then let that right leg rise. Keep it alive. See if you can make the back leg straight. It doesn't have to come any higher. Make it straighter and more active. And then with some grace, come to standing, pull the knee to the belly. Hold the head up, but take your gaze down. Minimize your distractions. Now, nice and easy, take the leg back behind you. I love what I see. You guys are moving so beautifully. Left leg is going to soften. We step onto the right toes. Do that carefully. And then arms rise back up. Check in. Make sure you step to the right space. Is your stance long enough? Is it wide enough? And then hands to heart center. Let's take that twist. Right elbow outside the left knee. That right side body is long. There's a lock going on between your right elbow and your left knee. They press into each other gently. And if you get that pressure right, they become one. There isn't like one is pushing and then the other, and there is no back and forth. They merge into one energy that gives you the access to your left chest. Give me one more breath here, and then keep pressing the palms and unwind your spine. Come back to center. This is balance. Arms reach high, reestablish your lunge, and then let's take our flow. Hands down, step back, and lower. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, and then take it back into downward facing, Adho Mukha. All right, how we doing? I think some of you are having fun, some of you not so much. Let's see if we can do something about that. All right, step the right foot forward. This time, take the left foot and step a little bit forward. We call it pyramid pose, so it's a little bit shorter stance. It's still nice and wide and kind of long, but not as long as a warrior or a high lunge. And then come on up to standing. Hands come onto your hips. Okay, I want you to stay grounded, just like this, but press through your big toes like crazy. Can you feel what happens? Like you really, all of a sudden, it's like the legs ground, and then there's a little energy on the inseam of the legs. So the big toes are going to push down and in. Now the quadriceps, the front of the thighs, are going to lift and pull back. See if you can create that spiral where the down and the up are equal. The legs are straight, the muscles are toned. Is everybody there with me? Yeah? Okay, so let's hold that and then take a deep breath up and reach for the sky. Okay, arms are going to open up like a T. Now I'm going to invite in a new set of muscles. Arms are open out like a T. We're going to use the outer hips. These are called the medial glutes. We're going to squeeze them for stability, and we're going to try twisting to the right. Stay tall. Uh-huh. Broaden the chest. Pull up and in from the belly. Get a little taller. Now access the waistline. See if you can really turn from the ribs. It's like you got nothing, but it feels like you're trying, right? Yeah, it's one of those kind of poses. But we do it with integrity. Sometimes the simplest things are actually really magnificent for the body. Turn around and face forward. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hands onto your hips. Now fold halfway. Show me that flat back, the one that we started with. Ooh, say hello to your right hamstring. Yeah? Yeah, that front knee has been bent the whole time. Let's see if we can really know how we're positioning our spine. So we want no roundness, right? We want the back flat. We want the shoulder blades squeezing even just a little bit. That's it. The legs are straight. We still have that spiral going on. Big toes pressing down, quadriceps and knees lifting just a little. Now, left hand is going to go to right shin, and we're going to twist open to the right side. Try not to let your head go to the right. Head back. Keeping the crown and the tail in alignment will help you with your balance. So if the head swooped around to the right side, turn your gaze up to your right thumb. So just because the hand went to the right doesn't mean that the whole body goes to the right. Head back. Yeah, there. Spiral those legs. Pull the belly in. Turn from the rib cage. If you push down a little bit with that left hand, the right chest will open. And then the eyes go down, the hand comes down. Let's soften the right knee and just step our feet together. Step together. Lift up off your heels and take a little toe squat. Ooh, that feels good, doesn't it? Little toe squat. Hands are going to come to heart center. See if you can find your balance on those 10 little toes. Okay, so that was a really nice twist to the right. Let's counter twist to the left. Right elbow outside the left knee or in between. You could always go inside the right knee. As long as you can anchor that elbow. Nice deep twist. Tailbone down slightly, chest lifting, spine stays long. Try not to be rounded here. That's it. Return to center. Let's come to chair pose. Ground your heels, reach your arms, stop halfway just because you can. And then push up the rest of the way and release. Okay, inhale, arms reach. You guys are doing great. Exhale, forward fold. How are you feeling? Better? I think a little better. Inhale, look up. Exhale, go to plank and lower. Chaturanga Dandasana or the belly, you choose. Inhaling into Cobra or Up Dog, Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And then we go to our favorite, Downward Facing Dog. Let this pose feel like it's coming home. I know some of you don't feel that way about it. But that means every time you approach this pose, you can actually try to find your place in it. Don't fight with it. Left foot's going to take a big step to the hands, and then the right foot takes a little step. So we're in that pyramid stance. Okay. Come on up to standing. We've got left foot forward this time, hands on the hips. Let's create those spirals. Just by lifting and spreading the toes, pressing down through the big toes and lifting the quadriceps, you should actually start to feel like you have equal weight in both feet. It doesn't feel like you're leaning left or right or forward or back. You're just standing right up in the middle of it. These are important little things. Learning how we position ourselves. Like finding the center. We don't realize, but we have body language, right? So how many of us are ahead of ourselves all the time? How many of us are like afraid to come forward with courage, with the heart first, right? So here, just like see if you can embody that feeling of confidence, of being right here, right now, standing in your feet, creating some sense of balance in the body. Let's see if we could hold that foundation and reach our arms high to the sky. Just exalt it, reach. That's it. Then open the arms out like a T. It makes your heart space grow even bigger, and then twist to the left side. It's not going to be your favorite twist, but it's prepping you for what's next. So if we can build the foundations, then we can take it to more complex things. I think a lot of us are just in a hurry. We forget that there's multiple steps in a journey, and things take time. 10,000 hours of something makes you expert in it, yeah? Did anyone ever read, what was that book? What was that book? Outliers? No. Gladwell, yeah, but I don't remember which, it was Outliers? All right, so see if you can ground down a little bit, squeeze those outer hips, and get a little more access to the waist. Go ahead, Pam, open those arms wide. Yes, from the chest, and now turn, 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 turn. That's it. All right, turn and face forward. Inhale, arms reach, and then hands come to your hips. I like it. It's gonna feel the same, but you're gonna do it from a half forward fold. Come to that flat back. This is the work we started with today. Reestablish the spirals in your legs, the squeeze on the outer hips, and then keep your head right in front of your tailbone. Be careful. When you place the right hand on the left shin, don't bend your body to the left. Just put the hand there. Keep your head forward, and then start twisting open to the left side. Take the left arm up to the sky. It's a complex pose, but it's simple movements. There is really nothing contortionist here. If you're grounded and you're building the foundation, you should be able to rotate the spine. We've been doing all of the things since the beginning of the practice. If that front leg doesn't want to stay straight, it probably means that your hand is too low. So put your hand on your shin and get that balance. Get the back foot grounded. Really establish the foundation. So push your foot into the ground. Pull this hip back for me a little bit. That's where you want to be. Now twist your waist. All right, eyes go down, hand goes down. Let's soften the left knee and then step the right foot forward. Beautiful. Let's take that little toe squat. Lift your heels and bend your knees. Hands come to heart center, balancing in the toes. Those 10 little toes, all of them, even your pinky toes are working right now. And then the counter twist goes to the right side. Left elbow either outside the right knee or inside the left knee. You decide. Press into your palms. That's it. Broaden the chest. When you squeeze the outer hips and you press into your palms, you may actually get a little more access to that right chest. I like how you're working today. There's a mindfulness. You're looking up toward your right elbow here. And then return to center. We're going to reach the arms high and sink the heels low and stop halfway. Chair pose, just because you can. I love that spot. It reminds you that you're strong. And then push through it. Come all the way up. Take a little stretch at the top. And then bring your hands right to your heart. Now you should be feeling much better. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank and lower, back to the familiar. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. Right foot steps up, stay on your left toes. I know you can do this. Arms sweep up high over the head. We're going to pull the hands into heart center, and we're going to use everything we've learned. We're going to step into the front leg and float that the left leg behind us. Find the balance, find the activation of the left leg, and then release your fingertips to the floor. See if you can stay high on your fingertips so you have a flat back. Lift and lengthen. Look at the front edge of your mat. Now, the left hand is going to stay grounded, which means that left hip has to come down a tiny bit, and then the right arm is going to twist open to the sky. Yeah, you just got to lower that. That's exactly right. Now, squeeze the outer hips. Activate that left leg. Push it back behind you, and then pull your chest forward. Keep getting longer and longer and longer in both directions. That's it. You guys are amazing. Eyes go down, hands go down, feet down together. Let's soften our knees and rest for a moment. Tuck your chin in your tail and roll all the way up slowly. Come up nice and slow, roll the shoulders back. Close your eyes and just meet yourself right where you are. Could you feel how we put all that together? All of the pieces into one magnificent pose. And it's because you're here and you're paying attention. Now we're going to wipe the slate clean, so if that side went really well and you feel like, yay, me, let that go. And if you kind of messed up a little and your balance was off and you felt like, oh, I suck, like just let that go. We're going to start over. Inhale, reach both arms. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway, inhale. Go to plank and lower on the exhale. This is where we remember all of the integrations, all the layers. Taking that gentle back bend, we do it with integrity. And then we press down into the ground and we lift our hips high and we come into downward facing dog. Down dog steps the left foot forward now into the high crescent lunge. One baby step at a time into something really magnificent. Hands to heart center. Lean into the left foot and float the right leg up behind you. Keep the right leg alive. Keep the foot flexed, the toes spreading. Let your brain feel like you still have a right leg and a right foot. And then put your fingertips on the ground. This is where we actually organize. The outer right hip drops a tiny bit. And then we root into the right hand. We lengthen the chest up. Do that flat back feeling that we've been doing. And then start twisting open to the left. It's because your leg is crossing over the midline. Keep it to the right. Push. Push. And if you push back enough through that right heel, you'll be able to pull the head forward. And you lengthen and then you twist. And then it's eyes down, hands down. Both feet down together. Soften your knees. Let your head go. That's it. Let's all take a really nice deep inhale. And then let out a little ah. Let's roll up slowly. Pull the belly button in. Stack your spine. Feel the muscles. Organize the bones. So good. Slow motion this time. Inhale. Really deep breath. Float your arms up. Let the breath out slowly. Exhale as you fold. Take your time. Slow motion. Breath. Exercise. Lift halfway on the inhale. Step back to plank and hold. Take another breath here. And then exhale as you lower to the belly. Inhale, slow and gentle through your cobra. And then to child's pose. Child's pose, sit back on the heels. If sitting on the heels doesn't work for your knees, just bring your feet around in front of you for simple cross legs. And we're all going to come on up to sitting. Sit tall. Yep, just sit tall. See if even in the seated position you can feel your feet grounding. When you press down into the feet, even from simple cross legs or from Virasana, Sukhasana or Virasana, it doesn't matter. You press down, there's a rebounding effect that lifts you up. So I want you to push down so you feel your chest rise, your head lift, your shoulders widen. And we're going to hold ourselves still for just a moment. There's not a pose in the world worth giving up your breath for. So if you are like kind of distracted and holding your breath because you're uncomfortable, because a knee or a foot or an ankle is disturbing you, It's not disturbing you, it's giving you information. It's telling you, please rearrange your body. Please respect me when I tell you that this is painful. And find another way that you can sit in your stillness and not be so disturbed by the discomfort. Every day, if we pay attention to the body, we'll be learning. We're learning how to be in this beautiful vessel that we've been given this time in this life. Moments like this teach us about who we are, so we can decide how we want to be in the world. When we narrow our attention, when we don't give it all to the external and we pull it in a little bit, just even into the space of your own mat, into your own body, you watch your thoughts, you confront your stiffness and your weakness, and you embody your strength and your suppleness and your flexibility. You get to know yourself. In this moment, allow that. Meet yourself exactly where you are. Because next Saturday, you're going to be different. There'll be 7 days worth of experiences. And it might feel the same when you get here and roll your mat out into your same exact spot. But every day we're different. And all yoga is really asking us to do is pay attention. How do we roll with the ebbs and the flows of life? Let's go ahead and unfold our legs. Plant the feet on the ground right in front of us. Knees can be bent, the feet are going to be flat. And I want you to open your feet out to the width of the mat. Then go ahead and drop both knees over to the right side.
You know, I think the more you can deconstruct what you've been taught.
All right.
And be your
Sit
own
up straight.
and question any authority.
Turn and face the right knee.
Eventually you get to truth.
Now I'm going to challenge you. Can you lift your left leg off the mat? The whole thing. Foot 2. Pick it up. Ooh. Do you feel that medial glute? Yeah. Now, without letting it touch the ground, can you bring it in front of you? Straighten it. Keep it lifted. Keep it lifted. Yep. Sit on both sit bones. Keep it lifted. And then start bending it and bring it back around behind you. Nicely done. Now push into both feet. You can put it down. So we did a little of this, right? We picked it up. We brought it around in front. We bring it back around. Now we're going to put it down. And we're going to stand up and we're going to squeeze the glutes a little bit. And then nice and slow. Put it back down. Turn to your right knee and lay down.
So we're not really these little personalities and identities and sets of problems.
You got it.
And bodies.
Rest for a moment.
But even in my own practice, I'm a breath away from letting it go. Just being.
A little bit of that body weight leans into the right leg or the right hip. Just feel that. Take a really long, deep inhale, like that slow motion vinyasa we did, and then sigh it out, a little sound through your lips.
Where your life is your meditation.
And then come on up slowly, turn and face forward, lift your knees to center. Make sure the feet are at the edges of the mat. And then tip them over to the left side. Feet nice and wide. You might feel that one tomorrow. The feet are nice and wide. You're going to try to sit up with this one. I know some of us have a tendency to want to like put our hands back and lean back, but see if you can find the work in your core.
Can you start to?
And
is it
then
required
right
for
leg
your
lifts, right foot
dermis
lifts,
system
right
starts
knee
to
lifts. Pick it
rewire
up.
to that
Ooh,
state
wee,
of
huh?
expansion,
Bring it around in
peace,
front of you. See if you can keep it lifted. Keep driving that heel out in front of you. Put your sit bone down while you do that. Yep. Nice. And then you lean into that left hip as you turn the leg, bend the right knee, and take it back behind you. Oh, let it hover for a second and then put it down. Good. Go ahead, fold forward. Oh, I forgot to make you stand up. Pop up. Little glute tone right there. Yep. See if you can do it with no hands. Nope. It does take some practice, right? I'll do this side with you. With lift, bring it around, drop the sit bone, lean again, come on up. Ah. Right? And then gracefully put it back down and then fold. That's it. And so allow a little bit of surrender. Let some of that body weight lean into the left leg, the left hip. Make sure you're breathing. Let's do a really nice clearing breath. A big, deep inhale through the nose. Let it escape through your lips. Let it go. And then rise up slowly. Turn and face forward. Tip your knees back to the center. And then tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, and pull in your belly button. And then lay yourself down one vertebra at a time. Just like we did that ragdoll roll up. We carefully roll ourselves down one vertebra at a time. Yep. So good. Put the soles of your feet together, let your knees drop open. Relax the medial glutes. Remember the place where we had the hips, the outer hips squeezing? Even if you take your fingers and you poke the outer hips right now, you'll see that they're soft, right? We're not squeezing them anymore. Let them relax. Let the inseams of the legs lengthen. We had a very linear practice today, so we want to make sure that we change the directions and allow the hips to feel balanced. Lots of work in the front and the back and the outside. So here's your moment to make sure that we still care about and touch the inside too. Everything in balance. Everything mindful. Two more breaths. And then nice and slow, bring the knees back up. Let's pull the knees to the belly and give ourselves a little squeeze. And you can rock a little side to side. And eventually rock both legs over to the right. Spinal twist. Open the chest and look to the left. Allow this to be the softest twist that you've taken all day. Right? We were working pretty hard on integration while we were twisting and standing. I don't want you to feel any of that here. I don't want you to feel any like push, pull, squeeze, clench. I want you to actually soften deep into the core. Breathe so the muscles around your spine soften. Again, a clearing breath, a good to be alive breath in through the nose. Let it just ooze out through your mouth. And then pull in the belly so that your spine is supported and make your way all the way up and over to the other side. Once you get there, let go of that gripping and soften. Soften everything. Let's take that last clearing breath, a big, deep, full one. A little sigh, and keep the belly contracted. Use that support and roll yourself back to the center. One last time, give your knees a little squeeze, and then release both legs all the way down. Let each leg go. Keep a little space between your legs. Let the chest be open wide, and turn your arms, turn your elbow creases up and your palms to face up, so the shoulder blades can sit flat on your back under you. And then just be free.
Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha.
That is not the song that I want to play right now. That is not what I want to play right now. It's better. So one breath at a time. Don't rush to get up, but just start to awaken. Just really notice yourself in the stillness again. Sometimes I think that the practice just mimics the pace we keep in life, and it's the moments of stillness that actually awaken something new in us. But they complement each other, and we actually need both to actually appreciate both. When you're ready, you can bring yourself to seated. All right. And so once again, we sit up tall. Let's bring our hands together at the heart. Take one moment here to acknowledge one thing from your practice. Was there one moment, an insight, a chuckle, a moment of strength, a moment of humility? Was there a moment today that might serve you in your life in some way? Capture it right now. Because as much as those feel important in the moment, sometimes when we get up and roll our mat up, they disappear. So pick one and hold it precious. Take it with you as a lesson. And then let's seal the practice with the beautiful and sacred sound of Om. Let's do 3. Breathe in deep. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om peace, peace, perfect peace. Loka samasta sugino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and that freedom for all. May we all know peace, peace, perfect peace. Thank you so, so much for being here. Thank you for your dedication to your own wellness and to this community. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. If there are any yoga teachers in the house, I'm teaching a continuing education workshop today on hands-on adjust. So for the trainees, if you are interested in coming, you're welcome to come. It's from 1 to 4. I think the whole world and the whole idea of touch assisting in yoga has changed since COVID. So even if you did teacher training and you were really comfortable with hands-on, I think that it's probably worth revisiting, especially in the company of other teachers. I think there's some stuff that we need to air out. I have some real clear ideas about what I think is appropriate and necessary and what is completely inappropriate and unnecessary. If anyone's interested in that, it's from 1 to 4 today at the studio. And I did announce a new retreat that's October 27th to the 30th. It's just a local long weekend. So it's going to be on Hillsborough Mile. It's a Thursday to a Sunday. I would love so much for you guys to step out of your routine and come and rest and renew. It's going to be 3 days. 3 nights and 4 days. We'll start with dinner Thursday and end with brunch on Sunday. We'll have 2 practices a day. We'll do Vinyasa and sunrise meditation in the morning. And then in the evenings, I'm going to do a sound bath Saturday night. I think I'll do a yin with live music on Friday night. And Thursday will be just a regular welcome practice. Some people are flying in for it, but if you live locally, it's really nice to just drive down the street, right? And get away for a few days. So take a look on my website. You can go to leslieglickman.com or yogajourney.com and all of the details are there. Hi, baby. Look at that bow. Can you say something about